Hey, welcome back to the She Awakening podcast. It is your girl Kalisha. How are you doing on this beautiful day, night, evening? Where are you listening in from? Hey, right, I thought I'd just jump straight in with a quick one for you because let me tell you this. Take a deep breath. I was in my kitchen cooking, and actually, no, I tell you, I was actually baking something. I was baking a shortbread, and the download came through instantly. So if you don't know, you need to know. When my third eye starts tickling, it is a sign that girl, you've got something you got to talk about. So there we go. So if you are new here and it's your first time, you're thinking, what the heck? I'm Kalisha Taylor and I'm the founder of the She Awakening podcast, where I talk about all things to do with self-worth, self-value, self-belief, wellness, everything basically possible to get you to move forward into your becoming. This space is for the awakening women who are bettering themselves, knowing themselves, and they are rising from suppression, identity problems, you name it. Whatever you have been suppressed with, struggling with, has kept you emotionally stuck, this is a space for you. So let's just jump straight into it. So, like I said, it's my kitchen, mind my own business. Download came through. I thought, hey, I've got to share this. So I wrote down the title and said, when I'm ready, when the kids are upstairs in their bedroom, not in bed, but in the bedroom, I'll actually record it and get out of the way. So I'm sitting on my yoga mat with my headphones plugged in, just keeping it raw, keeping it real. And the message for today is, you ready for it? Let's sit comfy. The universe doesn't give a fuck who you are. I know. That's what came through. The universe doesn't give a fuck who you are. That's what came through, raw, real, to the point. And I was just like, wow. Now, I'm saying this because when it came through, it just landed. First and foremost, right, a lot of us, we sit down with our problems, and we believe that there's somebody coming to come save us. We believe we're sitting there so comfortable in pain with our problems that someone's actually going to come and save us and take us out of our misery and take us out of the pain. But the truth is, no one's coming to save none of us. You see, our ancestors passed away and they died waiting for somebody to come. They waited for God to come, but they failed to realize that we were God. We were God already in the making, because if we were so connected to, air quotes, God, for those who believe in God, or the divine power, whatever the case may be, if we were so connected to that divine power, we would have realized that, and this is going to apply to those who read the Bible, okay? I use the Bible for life principles, but if we were so understanding in terms of knowledge, we would have realized that the same Bible that we read and we believed in told us that we were created in the image of the Creator. What does that image look like? Well, you could think of it as a physical image, but I don't see it as a physical image. I see it as deeper than that. The image being the essence of the Divine One. So if we were created in the essence of the Divine One, then automatically we are like gods. Because if we're like gods, then surely that must mean that we have the power and capability to create. But we failed. And we felt that, and we gave away our powers to this being we call God, because obviously religion has, I'm using religion, just work with me. I'm channeling here, so I'm going to just roll what's coming out. I'm not going to try to sprint it up for nobody. But we we listen to the pastors and the upbringing of our families and friends and congregation and everybody else who believes in God, who has an influence in God, and God, do you know what I mean, who has a part of their life. And we listen to what they said in terms of basically, we should worship God and give our energy to God and da 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 da. But then what's happened over the years is that we've lost our own power. We've lost ourselves and we've lost who we are. And that type of mentality has weakened us, where we believe that there's somebody going to come save us. We're always looking for that handout. So say, for example, I'm going to use myself, who's went through domestic abuse, because I'm going to pick on myself because, hey, That's all I can do. So I went through domestic abuse, right? How many years ago? That's 2010, 2010, right? I left 2013. After leaving 2013, I magically thought that God would come and help me. God would actually be there to help me, not physically in help me, but God would help me. But the truth is, if that is the case, why would God help anybody who's not helping themselves? It's like having a child. You see your child looking workless. Your child just sitting around the house doing nothing. Yeah, mom casts money, but your child ain't getting off their backside to go and get that money for themselves. So why the freak would you want to give your child money? What are you teaching your child? That if it's okay to sit around and just keep taking, but you're not doing anything. It's crazy. It's funny, isn't it? So when the dialogue comes through, so the universe doesn't give a fuck who you are, that instantly clicks in my head. Too many of us are sitting around capable of doing more with our lives. We have the potential, we have the capability. There are people out there that has lost their limbs, and you see them on like places like TikTok, and they're there painting. They've got no hands, both hands are gone, but they're there still cutting. I can't even understand how that works, but they're doing it. They've got people out there who's got no feet, and they're out there doing most active sports better than somebody who's got all their body parts together. And when we sit here waiting for somebody to go and rescue us, and the truth, then the message today I'm getting through, that's channeling through my spirit, no one's coming to come save you. Save your goddamn self, because you have been given, you've been sent on earth with everything that you need within yourself. The only thing this is my opinion, I believe that was taken away from us was the fact that we were given the assignment, we was given the mission, okay? And obviously that has got lost due to conditioning, programming, suppression of family, societies, you name it. But along the way, we're going to find back ourselves. All right? Because if it's destined to be so, it's destined to be so. It also says in the Bible as well that I knew you from basically the beginning. That's me paraphrasing it. Now, as much as I'm not in religion anymore, I still remember certain things and understand the meaning of it now in a spiritual way than opposed to a religious way, because I'm not religious. So if we were sent on earth with everything that we need, right? Everything that we need, the gifts, the talents, the understanding. Yes, hardship reaches us. Yes, we have our difficult times. But at the same time, we give up our power waiting for someone to come bail us out. I mean, it's like thinking, well, who are you? I'm not going to help you if you can't help yourself. Have you even tried to take the first step forward? And some of you even haven't even tried to do so, and you think you've done it, but you only half-arsed it. What fruits is that for you? What are you learning from that? Because we've all done it. We all sit around waiting for someone to come rescue us. But the truth is, no one's coming to come get you. You have the power and potential to change your life at any given moment. We have our seasons, and we have it for a reason. And we have the lessons, and we have the blessings. And we have the chance to understand what patterns are in my life that keep repeating itself over and over again. What is the message that's coming through? What do I need to change in order to move forward? And if you can't connect the dots in that, there's a problem. For me, one of my wounds is, one of my wounds that I struggle with is being visible, right? It's why I love podcasts. I'm not gonna lie, I love my podcasts, and because obviously I can sit behind my headphones, I can just rough, head ain't combed, right? But I'm starting to learn to say, what, Kalisha, that's just who you are. When you're ready, you ain't got time to glimpsing, glamsy, because that is just not you behind the scenes. You're a full-time mom to 5 children, you're homeschooling them, more time you're in your yard, and you're sitting there with just your leggings on, a t-shirt, probably a bra or a crop top. That's how you're rocking and rolling. And your hair sometimes, most of it's combed, most of it's in plaits. If it's not in plaits, there's a hairband around it. That's just who you are. And I'm learning to translate that in front of the actual video and be like, listen, if you go on my TikTok, you'll find me. I'm Kalisha Taylor. You'll find me on there. And I've got my headscarf on the same way. I'm showing up because that is who I am to my core. Now, if I kept walking out, please, I've been living this lifestyle for 5 years, so it's so natural to me to be afraid to show up. But now I'm breaking out of it one step at a time, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So I know this message landed in my heart because it was a fact for me, and I know it's a fact for a lot of people out there. It's a fact. It is a fact. And then because we know we have our issues, we know we have our jacked up ways, but we're not doing anything about it at all, or then sitting there thinking that somebody's going to come save us. Well, child, tell you today, big and serious and straight, no one ain't come to come save you. No one ain't come save you. I took the scripture out of the Bible. Let me give it to you straight, all right? If you got a Bible, grab it. If you haven't, then go into Google. Good old Google can't lie. Well, that's a lie. But anyways, we're going to roll it. All right? If you haven't got a Bible, go on Google or get your Bible out. I want you to go to Acts 10:34. So Acts 10:34, where it tells you, right? Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. What does that mean? Well, the podcast is called The Universe Don't Give a Fuck Who You Are. So if that came through, and it came to my memory that it's in the Bible. Do you know exactly where? I had to Google it, but that scripture is in the Bible, and I found it, and it is there. What is it trying to tell you? The universe doesn't care whether you are man, woman, horse, donkey, whatever else. It's the vibration you push out, that's what it works with. If you want better in your life, you better start pushing out a higher frequency. If you want low vibration, well, guess what? I don't believe the universe is going to push you at a low frequency, but guess what? There's already a low frequency in the world that's going to give you exactly what you want, because the world's made up of light and darkness, good and evil, up and down. It's the polarities. It's simple as that. So whatever you push out, you're going to reap. It's part of the laws. It's there from day dot. We're there from the beginning. The laws of Mahat. Everything is in balance. It was written from day dot. She is the wisdom. So if you are there, if you don't know who Mahat is the ancient Kemet goddess. Okay, my people. So with that being said, the energy you're pushing out is what you're going to reap back. So sitting there with a victim mentality, whoa, look at me, my life is crap, everything's just happening to me, that's a you problem. And you probably don't want to hear it, but it's a you problem. It's a you problem because you can change at any given moment in time. It's a you problem because only you have the power to realign yourself. Now, it's not easy. Don't trust me. It's not easy. I'm nowhere in a situation where I can say to anybody, so, you know what, I've got it all together. No, listen, take this straight up, girl. We're walking this path together. We are walking this path together, and I'm right beside you. I'm more ahead of you, but I'm just beside you. I'm there walking with you because I know it's not easy. I know when you're stuck in the gutters and your mindset can't change any further because all you can see is the problems. I know that. I know it doesn't matter if anyone tells you that there's better days to come. It's impossible. I know that. I know how it feels like to be hurt and so broken, or feel like you're broken inside. That you've got no energy, no motivation, no confidence to believe yourself that you can do it. And even if you do have a lucky run and you score big and you make a swift change, it's then maintaining that level of frequency, because guess what? You've done it, it worked, now you've got to maintain it. How do you do that? And that is something I have recently cracked in my life. How to maintain what I do. In terms of, for me, it's being a mom who's homeschooling her children, and also building a legacy that can impact many to come. Because what I'm building right now I'm working on an academy which has been open since 2023, and again, I've half-arsed it because I've been up and down my life, up and down. Sometimes it's working, then it's not, then things ain't going right and I can't see, I'm more clouded and judgment and whatever else. But I have an academy called the She Awaken Academy for mums, for women, to help build their power, to build their bodies, build their truth, build their purpose, get them realigned, get them comfortable back into their own body so they can go forward and make their own soul aligned impact. But guess what? I also got another dream that goes alongside it for the young girls, the daughters, the teenagers, get their mind straight from now so they don't have to go through what we're going through. Because you know how hard it is. Listen, You know how hard it is already. I don't have to try to tell you. You know how hard it is already. You know how hard it is to be as a mother, trying to show up for your children and show up for some to do, to do something if in your life that betters yourself, but also that deep down your spirit and your soul is burning to do more. But guess what? You don't have the energy to do it because you're so mentally popped down, you're so mentally drained, you're so mentally done. Your energy does, your energy can't even match that type of frequency. And this is where the universe is saying, I need to get this message out there because you've been there, Kalisha. You know, and you knew for a fact for 5 years you struggled because I wasn't going to help you until you worked out for yourself. And again, I was at the matrix. I chipped in, I chipped out. I chipped in, I chipped out. And I was just like, when am I ever going to get a break? Until I understood what that break looked like and how I had to apply it to my life. And if I can leave you one thing today, because I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm going to pull a card. So while I'm shuffling, if I can leave you one thing today, the first thing you can do for action is write down for yourself, right? What are the repeating patterns that keep showing up? Right? I'm shuffling my cards while I'm talking to you. So, what are the repeating patterns that keep showing up in my life that I need to face and address? And then we've got 2 cards that's jumped out, so we're going to go with that. And when you find out what those 2, what that is, I want you to write down beside it. The universe doesn't give a fuck who I am. Because if you're waiting, if you're sitting there with your problems, waiting for God, universe, whoever to come and say, I want to save you from it, you've got another thing coming. Because the whole point of you being here is to have a human experience. The human experience, which is for your soul to learn, understand, and evolve in order to move forward. Nothing is handed to you on a plate, unfortunately. And I've learned that the hard way. I've got to take the time and understand. And it's going to result to pain. The end result to your suffering is going to be pain. Like those people that talk about make or break, well, that will be it, make or break. How much pain can you take before you actually make the shift? Because if it was painful enough, you'd shift harder. And again, no shade, I speak from experience. I told you, I walked for 5 years. The pain has to be crippling enough for you to think, you know what, I need help because this isn't normal and I want a life. So here's the card I've got for you. 2 cards jumped out. The first card is transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. There's your first clue from the universe. These cards jumped out while I was talking to you. All right. So the only way transformation is going to happen in your life is if, right, things change at a cellular level, not surface. So screw your affirmations. You can screw your manifestations and your that ain't working for you. Sorry, it's not working. It's deeper than that. You need a deeper help. You need a deeper work. The next card we've got here is boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Boundaries with yourself, because trust me, you can kiss your own arsehole sometimes. You can pour honey down your ear roll, down your own ear, playing the violins of shoulda, woulda, coulda. It ain't working no more. You need some boundaries. Boundary on yourself. When your mindset kicks in to remind you of what a jacked up person you are, you need to have a boundary in place that says, no, that was my season and that's come to an end. This is what I'm going to do instead. Time's up now, girl. I'm not being funny. The universe needs you to get off your backside and get shit done. I need you because guess what? I've been through my experiences. All right, I've been through my pain, I've been through my hurt, I've been through my experiences. You can never walk my path, and I can never walk your path. And with that being said, listen to it good. With that being said, people are out there waiting to hear your voice with your expertise, and you're half-assing your shit because you're sitting behind bloody closed doors pining over your own problems, and that's the most selfish thing you possibly do, where you have the gifts to heal your own self, to move forward, and in order to better, just not even better, drop a nugget in somebody else's life to awaken somebody else, to help them, because that message that comes from your voice is enough to save their life from going down the same rat hole that you have been down there for how many years of your life. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to leave that there. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I would love to hear. But girl, time to fix up now, man. No more excuses. It's done. It's over with. I have got up my backside and I'm fixing. and I'm still fixing, because I know it's a journey. I am fixing what's broken. What are you going to do? I'll say it again. The universe doesn't give a fuck about you. It will meet you wherever you are at. And if you want to stop in the gutters and believe that's where you belong, you stay there. Because I think you'll keep attracting